Hey guys! The country I chose to do for my case study is Germany. My motivation stems from Germany's recent acceleration of renewable energy sources. Germany is now powered more by renewables than by fossil fuels. This happened in 2019. The government's goal is to achieve a share of renewables in power consumption of 65% by 2030. My thinking was that since the country is so ahead of the curve with the implementation of renewables, their biofuel policies must also be ahead of the curve. So the biofuel policies of the European Union has the Renewable Energy Directive mandates that 20% of all energy usage in the EU, including at least 10% of all energy in road transport fuels, be produced from renewable sources by 2020. Alongside the RED, an amended Fuel Quality Directive requires the road transport fuel mix in the EU to be 6% less carbon intensive than a fossil diesel and gasoline baseline by 2020. The standard type is biofuel penetration targets, renewable energy mandates, and carbon intensity targets. The regulating body is the Renewable Energy Directive. It's regulated by the European Commission Directorate General for Energy and the Fuel Quality Directive by the Directorate General for Climate Action. So the current standard fuel quality directives is this one, and this one, Renewable Energy Directive, is this one. So applicability is all road fuel and electric vehicles. So a history of biofuel policies in Germany. So in 2002, the German parliament decided to exclude biofuels from the gasoline tax it had at the time. This would increase their competitiveness in the market. In 2006, the Energy Tax Act was implemented. It introduced a partial tax on vegetable-based fuel. In 2007, the Biofuel Quota Act was implemented. It adopted a mandatory biofuel blending target for the mineral oil industry in Germany. This largely replaced the use of tax exemptions for biofuels. The Biofuel Quota Act obliges mineral oil companies to distribute a rising minimum share of biofuels through introducing mandatory blending quotas for biofuel with fossil fuel. So for the current policies for biofuels, the European Union currently has a renewable transport target that Germany is seeking to achieve. Germany has had a biofuel mandate in place since 2009 with a 6.25% target for biofuels in road and rail transport. In 2016, renewable energy and biofuels accounted for 6.9%, with double counting, and 4.7% respectively of the energy consumed in the transportation sector. Starting in 2015, Germany moved from an energy mandate to a greenhouse gas reduction quota with the goal of achieving a 6% greenhouse gas reduction in the transportation fuel mix by 2025. So Germany was ranked third in biofuel production per day in 2012. So as you can see from the chart, the USA was producing the most by far at 940,000 barrels per day. Brazil was second with 449,000 barrels per day, and Germany was third with 68,000 barrels per day, and China at 59,000 barrels per day. Now China is ahead of Germany these days. So here's a graphic on the sale of mineral oil and biofuels in Germany. While sales of mineral oil have increased, biofuel sales have dropped. While overall in time, the sales of both have increased within the country. And my source is the Federal Office for Economic Affairs and Export Control. So, are the policies in Germany cost effective? Germany's biofuel goals are within reach for the country. the blending mandate that requires the biofuel blending of the country increase by increments over time, and it is reasonable, in my opinion. The blending mandates of the EU are also reasonable, in my opinion. For a policy comparison with Brazil, Brazil currently has ethanol and biodiesel mandates that require a 27% blend of ethanol into gasoline. The requirements are set to increase over time. This applies to all road fuels. The regulating body for this is the National Agency of Petroleum, Natural Gas, and Biofuels, and the Ministry of Mines and Energy. By comparison, Germany has a biofuel mandate that is increasing steadily per year, as we've seen in the previous slide. So for the discussions and conclusions, Germany has come a long way in their efforts to ditch fossil fuels and implement renewable sources of energy. It has a substantial biofuels market that is sure to increase over time. Brazil and Germany are making strides in their biofuel production, and I am excited to see what the future will bring for both of these countries. And these are my sources. Thank you.